We're going to look at how to make a symmetrical soap dish. Some of you will have a soap dish that is symmetrical. And why would you want to draw one side and then the exact same thing on the other side? So we're going to show you how to make a symmetrical soap dish using the mirror command. So I'm going to go ahead and put my rectangle here. This is I'm going to dimension the rectangle to the dimensions of the soap dish, 5.5. These are the maximum dimensions. You don't need to have your soap dish be exactly this size, but this would be the maximum size of it, 5.5 by 4.5. Now, because it's a symmetrical part, I'm going to put a line down the middle, because in order to mirror our part, or to mirror a sketch, you need to have a line that it mirrors around. So we're going to put a line down the middle of our rectangle, and now we're going to go ahead and draw the shape. Now let's say that I wanted to make a fish. Now some of you are making a fish. I'm just using this as an example. I really don't want to see any fish out there because I'm using it. But if you got your heart set on a fish and you've got something, I'm just going to make a simple thing. If you got something a little more complicated that's not necessarily symmetrical in every aspect, then that's fine. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and draw a very simple fish. I'm going to use a spline tool, and I'm going to go ahead and start here at the center, and I'm going to draw it like this, and I'm going to draw from here. I'm going to finish my spline, and I'm going to go to a line to make the tail. I'm just going to go straight out here to the tail like that, and I'm going to draw a line from there. I'm going to draw a line down to here. Actually, I don't need that line. Okay, so I've got that. So there's my fish. Now I'm going to delete the dimensions because I want to do some trimming and I don't want those dimensions to mess me up. And I'm going to delete these lines and trim these lines that I don't need. I'm going to leave that center line. Okay, I'm going to trim this. I'm going to trim that, and I'm going to trim this. Okay, so here is a very simple half shape of a fish. And you can see that if I were to finish this off, I'd have myself a regular fish. I'm going to round this edge right here a little bit. So I'm going to use I'll use an arc. I'm going to go ahead and round this off so that it's not quite so extreme. And you can see that I've got a tangent symbol there. I'm going to trim this off now, trim off these edges, and there we go. And I like that. Okay, so there is my general fish shape. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the mirror command. You can see how difficult it would be to draw that exact same thing over on this side. That's why we're going to use the mirror command. The mirror command is located under the pattern button, or pattern tab, and it's the first button from the bottom there. So that's the mirror. And remember, with any command in Autodesk Inventor, you can hover the mouse over the command, and it will give you a description of what it does, and it will give you either a graphic or an animation. So it's showing us exactly how that works. I'm going to select it. It says select. I'm going to select the lines that I want to mirror, and I want to mirror the spline, the curve, and this line. I also want to mirror this line. Okay? And I'm going to mirror this line. And the reason I'm mirroring this line is because if I don't mirror this line, I may not get the endpoints here. And if I don't have the endpoints, it's not going to give me a closed area for extrusion. So I'm going to go ahead and select that line as well. The mirror line is going to be this midline right here. And it's not giving me a preview, so I'm just going to have to guess. It did give me the apply option, so I'll click apply. And there we go. And you can see that I've got kind of a funky little thing here in the front. That's because my line went out instead of in. It didn't go straight up. I kind of made that go in, but that's all right. So here's my fish, and I'm going to go ahead and put my rectangle in for my soap. Now, if you're going to make a fish like this that's symmetrical, I would expect that the soap dish itself would be symmetrical as well and in line with the midline of the fish. So I'm going to dimension this, and I'm going to show you a trick to how to get this lined up. Now, if you have an asymmetrical part, it doesn't really matter where you put the soap dish, but for a symmetrical part, it needs to be dimensioned properly. I mean, it's silly looking to have the soap dish. Let's see, if I had it here, I'll just move it here. I mean, this just doesn't look right. It's just lazy. It's not good. There's no reason to put it there. We're going to put it in the middle. So I need to dimension that from the midline. So if this distance is 1.5, then the dimension from the midline to this outside would be half of that, wouldn't it? And in Autodesk Inventor, you can put equations in for the dimensions. So if you can't do 1.5 divided by 2 in your head, then you can just put 1.5 divided by 2 in the command line where you enter the text, and it'll do it for you. And you can see it's 0.75, and it puts it right in the middle. Okay, so I'd finish my sketch. And let's just see if this is going to extrude now. I hope it does. Extrude. There's that side, and that. And yes, it does. So voila. Now we have our fish. Oh, I didn't put my angle in there. I want a 5-degree taper angle. Okay. I share my sketch. I extrude my soap dish as a cut to 0.65. This is in the other tutorial. That's why I'm going quickly. I put a -5 taper angle on this. And voila. I turn off my sketch. And there you go. You've got a fish soap dish. Okay? That's how you make a symmetrical part using the mirror tool. So go ahead and make your soap dish. You need to get it to this form where you've got your extrusions and you've got your cavity made. And then the next tutorial we'll learn how to do the shell and to do some of the other features that we need on the soap dish.